So next week there is a test of sati. I wonder how many people will pass it. If it would be just always in our heads, and have a little bit of sati, know what we are doing, why we are doing, and what the results of our doing is. Become human beings. So the path to freedom is the path, is the fourth noble truth. You can also call the path to deliverance or the path to Nibbana, the ultimate happiness. And the fourth noble truth is Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, we know it's the 5 precepts. When we're in the monastery, we keep the 8 precepts. Samadhi, I talked about already. Bringing the mind down to one point, or getting into upachara, samadhi, staying with the breath, or staying with the Buddha, until there's no more thoughts and no more memories coming up. Once we can stay at one point, be it the Buddha or be it the breath, then we train ourselves to develop panya, or wisdom. And wisdom is the only thing actually that can deliver us, but without samadhi and without sila, without the precept, we will not be able to develop wisdom. So all three belong together. In order to understand what we have to do for developing wisdom, we have to understand that we have to investigate the things that we believe we are. And in order to understand that the things that we believe we are, we have to understand one thing, or one of the characteristics, and that is anatta. Normally, when we do our practice of samadhi, there's the observer and there's the object observed. It only happens in deep state of samadhi that the observer and the object observed ends up in one point. But normally, there's always the observer and there's the object observed. And whatever the object and the subject cannot be the same. So the observer, that is nothing else than the knowingness of the citta, cannot investigate itself. But it can investigate everything that is within the citta, or comes out of the citta. But it cannot investigate the citta itself. This is something you have to understand. Anatta, the principle of anatta is whatever I can see, whatever I can feel, whatever I can experience cannot be me. And the 5 objects that we investigate are the 5 khandhas. And these 5 khandhas are Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. Rupa is the body. Vedana is feeling, can be bodily feeling or mental feeling. Sanya is memory, association. Sankhara is thoughts, short form of thought. And Vijnana is consciousness. We can observe all these 5 khandhas. And when we define ourselves within the realms of these 5 khandhas. That's why the Lord Buddha said you have to investigate. We have to investigate in order to understand. First of all, understand that they are not me, not mine, not myself, or the principle of anatta. You have to understand they are anicca, they are fleeting, they arise and then they cease. Or, with our body, we call it we are born and then we die. With feeling, they arise and cease. Memories arise and cease. Thoughts arise and cease, and even consciousness arises and ceases. But consciousness is so fast that we normally don't catch it, arising and ceasing. We believe, and when you look at yourself, how you define yourself, when you meet some other person, when you talk about yourself, even when you meditate, I'm feeling sick, I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling weak, I'm bored, I'm this, I'm that. Your definition of I, or your definition of ego, always lies within the 5 khandhas. And that's why it is so important to investigate these 5 khandhas, and only through investigation will we understand that these 5 khandhas are not me, not mine, not myself, and are anicca. They are impermanent, they arise and cease. And whatever arises and ceases, we can see, we can observe. And the third principle is dukkha. They are full of dukkha. Because we attach to these 5 khandhas, we attach it to the personality that we have, and the personality is formed out of these 5 khandhas. Feelings, body, male or female, memories, association. That's all me. It's all mine. It's all myself. That's what we think. And in order to understand this, we have to investigate them thoroughly. And the first thing that we investigate, normally when we do samadhi, what we investigate is pain. So, whenever there is excruciating pain, whenever we do samadhi and the pain comes up and we cannot concentrate anymore on our Buddha, or we cannot concentrate anymore on our breath, then we start to investigate pain. That is the first thing where we sharpen the knife of wisdom. So we go to the point, and that is the only time we are allowed to switch between samadhi and panya, investigation, when there is so much pain that we cannot concentrate on our Buddha or on the breath anymore. And then we go to the point where we think the pain is, and then we investigate it. The first question is, what is pain? But before we can even ask this question, we have to accept that question. We have to accept that feeling. How does it feel like? How does pain feel like? Feel it in every fiber of your body. The moment, as long as you are opposed to the feeling of pain, you are not able to investigate. So feel it every fiber, and then ask the question: what exactly is pain? Because if you remember, all our life we were running away from pain. When we had pain, we either did something that to distract ourselves from pain, or we went to see the doctor and to get rid of the pain. But now we want to understand what is pain. Then we look at it. We look at it, we observe it. Is it point-wise? Is it area-wise? Is it changing? And then you will see, if you investigate really, it's not always constant. The pain is not constant. It changes. Sometimes it's stronger and sometimes it's less strong. And then stronger and less strong. These things are there to investigate. We were running. You have to understand, we were always, all our life we were running away from pain. Now we want to understand what is pain. Because if we understand what is pain, we don't have to run away from pain. And the pain of death will sooner or later come to every one of us. So, if we understand pain and can be calm in the face of pain, that is very helpful the moment we die, because death is pain. Then we ask, what is pain? And then, once we go there and can stay there on the pain, then we ask, where is the pain? Is it in the skin? Since we are born, we have skin. Why is it only now in pain? Is it in the flesh? Is it in the tendons? Is it in the bones? Where exactly is this pain? Can you locate it? Can you find it? Can you find the source of pain? When we cut ourselves, we can find the source of pain. But when we sit in meditation, we can't find the source of pain. It's nowhere. It's nowhere. It's not in the tendons. It's not in the muscles. It's not in the skin. It's not in the flesh, and it's not in the bones. But you have to be honestly true, and really want to find out, where is the pain? What is the pain? And if you're really interested, the pain, then suddenly it disappears and appears somewhere else. So you go then, in order to understand what is pain and where is it coming from, you go to the next point. That, for instance, it was in the left knee. The pain was in the left knee, and you hardly could breathe anymore. And then you start to investigate, and you really get interested about the question, what is pain? Then it disappears, and it reappears somewhere else. So then it is now in the right knee. So you go to the right knee and do the same thing. First of all, you accept it, then you ask, what is pain? Then you ask, where is the pain? And really get interested until it appears somewhere else, disappears from that point, just like magic, and reappears somewhere else. And you have to follow it until it shows you where it is coming from. Then you have a first understanding of where the pain comes from. You have to see it with your own inner eyes, not just deduce it. Of course, we know where it is coming from. Yeah, but that is not the key. Knowing this or knowing that, understanding the teaching of the Lord Buddha that taught us everything. It's not going to help us. Yeah? It doesn't deliver us from dukkha. We might understand it, but we have not seen it. It is just like they're in pain. Every time. Yeah. Body investigation, pain investigation, I start to howl. We really have to see it with our own inner eyes. The knowledge doesn't deliver us to freedom. You can read the whole, all of the suttas, yeah, all of the Anguttara Nikaya or whatever, Dika Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya. We can read it, we can even read the Patimokkha, and we understand, everything. We can even read the Abhidhamma, and then we can even read about and understand about all these mind moments that are going on. But that doesn't deliver us to freedom. The freedom that delivers us is the understanding that takes place in our own heart. Investigation is always showing the heart, what is there, showing the heart the pain, accepting the pain, showing it what it is, until the heart says, okay, now understood. Once the heart is understood, it lets go on its own accord. We cannot make the heart let go. We cannot make the chitta let go. We can understand something, we cannot dive in or indulge into it. That is the function of the brain, or it's a function of understanding. Yes, it is not good if I'm doing this, but the heart still longs for it. The understanding that is taking place is the same understanding. When we, for instance, use the example of a few people sitting around the fire and discussing, if the fire is hot, warm or cold, if it burns or not burns, or something like that. But none of them has actually, you might need Marcus as well, but none of them actually has touched the fire. So, they don't know what the fire is. And then somebody comes there, like us as practitioners comes there, and here's all the discussion, about what the fire is, how the fire is, and then he puts his hand into the fire, and then he knows. That is investigation. Then he knows. He never has to ask, he never has to convince the other people, what the fire is, that it is burning or that it is hot. The other people they just speculate, how the fire is. But we want to know. Just like with pain investigation, we want to know what is pain, how is the pain, how does it feel like? Is it changing? Where is it located? And so on and so on. We want to know. We don't want to speculate about what is pain, because we did that all our life. Because I ate this, that's now there is pain. Because I did too much strenuous effort, there is much pain. No, we don't want to speculate. We want to understand what is pain. So we have to dive into pain, just like we put our hand into the fire, and then once for all. We never have to ask this question again, because we understand. The Chitta understands what is fire, and we will never ever touch the fire again. And that is where the heart lets go. That is just the first investigation that we do when the pain becomes too strong in meditation, in samadhi. But then, once our concentration is good enough, and we can stay for about 10 minutes on an object without our attention being diverted, then we can start to investigate the 5 khandhas. And the first khandha we start to investigate is the body. Within the body, there's greed and hate. So we have to understand 3 things about the body. First of all, that the body is not self. Then we have to understand the nature of the body, the loathsomeness of the body, in order to understand greed and hate that is rooted within the body. And then we have to understand the true nature of the body. It's just earth, water, fire, air. These are three kinds of understanding that we have to gain or to develop, so that we can get rid of the body. We don't destroy it, we destroy it mentally, we destroy our illusion about the body. Because what do we think when we see our body in the mirror? What do we think? We think it's lovely, it's nice, or it's not so nice. It's healthy, or it's not healthy. We constantly, all our life, we worry about this body. Since we are born, for the first 15 years, we train this body. We train the body to walk. We train the body to speak. We train the body to think. It's like learning to drive a car. We don't just go into a car and can drive. We have to learn it. So we have to learn for 15 years, how to manipulate, how to use the body, until it is completely functional. And that takes us about 15 years, 15 or 16 years. And then it is normally at full health, for 30 years or 35 years. And then with the age of 45 or 50, it starts decaying. Until, it cannot breathe anymore. Until the breath stops, the organs fail, the breath stops, the bone cracks, the teeth gets rotten, all these things. And then it stops working, and that's what we call death. So we train the body for 15 years. And who trained the body? Do you think the body can train itself? Think about it. There's something in the body, just like there's something in a car, we call it driver, who drives the car, and who tells the car to go right or left. But first of all, he has to learn how to use the car, to go right and left, forward or backward, go fast or slow, use the brake, use the clutch, use the gears, and so on. We have to learn that. And it's this driver who learns. So, and the driver in the body is called chitta. Yeah? So the moment, we are born, we are thrown out into the world, yeah? We have to learn to breathe. Normally, with the helping hand of a person, who hits us on our back. So we can start breathing. This is something that we really have to become clear. Who was training the body when it came out of the womb? Huh? Do you think the body or the brain that was not functional at that time, did all the training? No. We even trained the brain. Yeah? You remember that when we learned to talk, we needed to train the brain. Yeah? We needed to train the brain, for doing walking. We needed to train the brain for doing talking, and we needed to train the brain, for doing thinking. Huh? No? Otherwise, we just hop into this body and it's all fully functional. No, we have to learn it. So how can you say that you are the body? Because there's something else. Yeah? And there's a driver of the body, and that is called the chitta. So that is the start of our investigation, looking at one life of the body, yeah? Training it for 15 years, using it for 30 years, and then waiting for death, for 40 years, or watching the decay of the body for 40 years. Normally, sometimes it's only 10 years, sometimes it's 20 years, sometimes 30 years, sometimes 40 years. It depends on the karma that we have. In order to understand that we are not the body, we have to separate the body from the chitta. In the example or in the simile of the driver in the car, if we would be born in a car and die in a car and never got out of the car, of course we would believe we are the car. Or not? Think about the simile. Huh? Think about it. You're born in the car, you die in the car, you never get out of the car, so you believe you are the car. We are born in the body, we die in the body, we never get out of the body, so we believe we are the body. But we can get out of the body, or we can separate ourselves from this body, and that is the first part of the investigation of the body. We separate it out. We cut off all the limbs, we cut off all the organs, and put it in front of us until there's nothing left, until we see all the body parts, and then ask, what of the body parts is the body? Is the brain the body? Is the heart the body? Is the lungs the body? Is the liver the body? Is the stomach the body? I don't know. Yeah? Ask yourself and see all the things. Yeah? You cut them off. You cut them off while you're sitting. You close your eyes because you want to see with your inner eyes. You cut off one limb. Yeah? You beat the hand, and put it out in front of you, and then look at it and see it. Then you cut off the next hand, then you cut on the underarm and the upper arm, and so on, until all the parts of the body are in front of you. And then you look at it and you ask, what is the body? What part of the body is the body? And if you do it correctly, sooner or later, it can be 3 times, or it can be 100 times, or it can be 10,000 times. You do this exercise until there is something clicking, until the chitta really sees there's the body and the chitta is sitting on the meditation cushion. Yeah? And then the chitta understands that it's not the body. That is one way you can do it. And the Lord Buddha gave the example of the card. Yeah? There's a card, but when you disassemble the cards in bits and pieces, where's the card? And that is the same technique used for the body. So where's the body? And what sees the body? Does the liver know it's a liver? No, it's a definition that comes from the chitta. The limbs, it's a definition that comes from the chitta. So the chitta sees these things, And the moment the chitta sees all these things, lying in front of it, maybe it does understand it's not none of these parts, and it's none of these assembled parts that we call body. So that is the first kind of investigation. And this kind of understanding that the chitta and the body are two different things, that the observer and the things observed, the body parts observed, are not one and the same thing, is a main understanding, or is an important understanding that cuts down on the third fetter. And the third fetter is the view that the body is self. The first fetter is the fetter of doubt. The second fetter is the fetter of Silapata Paramasa, fiddling with the precept. Keeping the precept, not keeping the precept, keeping the precept, not keeping the precept, and so on. It is important to understand that because the first three fetters is our entrance to Sotapanna, to stream entry. And stream entry means we have at most 7 more lives, being either in heaven or being as a human being before we enter Nibbana. So this, you see, for some people, doubt, the fetter of doubt is the most important thing. Yeah? They can't get rid of, or they don't believe that there are heaven or there is hell or there is karma, that there are beings in heaven, there are beings in hell, and that there are results of karma. Whatever I do, it doesn't matter, I just do it. There is no action, there is no karma, there is no coming back, there is no reaction to my action. This is a big problem for lots of people. Because they don't believe in heaven and hell. They just go with their likes and dislikes. And another fetter, is not keeping the precepts. Keeping them today, say, yes, I keep my precepts. And tomorrow, oh no, I'm not keeping my precepts. Dann tasten. Sit straight. Keeping my precepts, not keeping my precepts, and so on. This is the second fetter. But the third fetter is the most difficult. Because we all believe that we are the body. And when you look at your life, you care so much about the body. We work so hard for this body. We live our life for this body. We work 8 hours a day. Some people work 10 hours a day to maintain this body. And in the end, all this maintenance that goes into the body still dies. No? This is something we have to understand. Nobody takes that, or hardly anybody takes care of the chitta, the driver of this body. And we can see it in samadhi. When we are really deep in samadhi, the body does not move because the driver is asleep. Just like within a car. When the driver in the car is asleep, the car does not move. It doesn't go left or it doesn't go right. And when we are sitting in samadhi, and when we are at the point, where there is no memory and thoughts are coming up, and when the chitta is completely calm, the body sits completely erect and doesn't do anything. Just sit still. And if we go even deeper into Appana Samadhi, we don't even notice the body anymore. And the deeper we go, the less we notice of the body, until the body is completely gone. When the body is gone, the whole universe is gone, and there's nothing left. There's nothing else. There's nothing else than this amazing, knowingness. But this knowingness doesn't know of any object. That's where we can have a preview of Nibbana. If you want to know what Nibbana is all about, and I can promise you, the moment you come out of this Appana Samadhi or deep state of Samadhi, the first thought is, when you come out, how to get back. You don't want to be in this world anymore, because you have tasted something else, tasted something that's so utterly fulfilling that you don't want to act in this world. It's just like somebody who has played all his life, video games, this game after one game after the other, and then suddenly, see, has been shown, a little paradise, a green garden with water, with waterfalls, He doesn't want to go back to his video games because they're so taking us so much intention, so much tension there when we play, because we constantly have to react to everything. We have to react. So this understanding, and that is coming through investigation of the body, that we are not the body, is important. Gives us the opportunity, with the first two fetters, gives us the opportunity to enter Sotapanna, or stream entry. And that means we are safe. We don't have 1 million or 1 billion of lives ahead of us. We have only 7 more lives ahead of us, at most. We can even finish it in this life if we have enough power left. So the next stage of body investigation is to get at the greed and hate. So, doing a super meditation, seeing the loathsomeness of the body, not making the body loathsome, or not making the body disgusting. We just need to open up the body, and we feel already the disgust coming up. Think about all the things that come out of your body. You already feel disgust. The moment the hair is filthy and you wash it, you feel it nice. And when the hair is down in the drainage, together with the soap, you feel disgusted. No? When you clip your fingernails, you polish them, you polish them, and so on and so on. When you clip your fingernails and they are lying on the table next to your food, you feel disgusted. Nobody has to teach you that. When the shit comes out, of your body, the old food, that cannot be any more digested anymore. When this shit comes out, you feel disgusted. So we don't have to make the body loathsome. It is, we think the body is loathsome. And that's where our greed and hate comes from. The things that comes out of the body we dislike, the things that go into the body or onto the body we like. So greed and hate is rooted within our assumption of the body. The body itself is it's just neutral. But we don't think it this way. So we have to investigate. So we have to pull up these Asubha images. We have to open up the body, underneath the skin. Can you see it? This grease, that is underneath the skin? What we call fat, the fat, yellow. Wow, it's disgusting. So we take a knife, we cut open, in our imagination. We cut it open, and we pull it over, and we pull it away, and we pull it away, and then look at the inside of the skin. We find it disgusting. Sometimes we even have the feeling of throwing up. We will never throw up, but we have the feeling, it comes up. And then we take off the whole skin. And then, do you like to have a look at the mirror? Do you like yourself anymore? And when you do it with the opposite sex, there's no affection to it. No more affection. All the affection has gone. The affection only comes with the skin, with the form, with the hair, with the nails, with the teeth, and so on. So the moment you put that back, you put the skin on, and it is nice and shiny and beautiful, then you get attracted again. And then you pull it off, and then you get then you get disgusted. And that's what we do. We open it up, we look at it, to see the disgust. And then we have to learn, how to live with the disgust. We have to accept it. And that's why the importance of the first investigation I told you, the investigation of pain is so important, that we have already some sort of experience investigating pain. Because the disgust is much more difficult to investigate or to accept. We have to accept the disgust, and we have to accept the anger that comes up. with this disgust. The anger that comes up with this disgust, we have to investigate just like we have to investigate pain. So we open it up. Yeah, every day we open it up, we look at it, we open it up, we look at it. Yeah? In the beginning, the disgust is very strong, and then over the time, the disgust will become lesser and lesser. Yeah? And we learn at the same time, we learn how to deal with anger. Anger is because of this body. Of our likes, we like the things that go into the body or onto the body. We dislike the things that are come out of the body, and then we open the body and we see it's full of shit. Just open your stomach and see, see all the variations from fresh food that is just there mixed up in the stomach. Until it comes out, the shit. Yeah, you can see all the process. When you look after the meal, when you look at your stomach, you can see it. Yeah. Is that so beautiful, enticing? The moment we eat food, we think it is beautiful. Yeah, it is delicious. It's delicious. Yeah, but the moment, and every one of us has puked once or twice in his life. And when it comes out of the mouth, you like to eat it again? It just went into the stomach, and we pooped it out, or we threw it up, and it is in our hand, or it is in the toilet, yeah? It's disgusting, and that is going on in our body. But we don't like to see it. And that's what we have to force ourselves to see it, and to see it, and to see it, and to understand it. And then sooner or later we have to investigate, the organs, the nose, the teeth, and see the nature, the true nature of these things. And once the body investigation is finished, that means we have entered the realm of the anagami, of the non-return. Just with the body investigation. Non-returner doesn't come back. He's the only one who falls up. He never comes back in any of these sensual realms. He doesn't come back as a deva. He doesn't come back as a human being. He doesn't come back in the lower realms. He just has five more things to do. So he's in a special place, until he reaches Nibbana. And all what he can do, he can even put, his head into his hand and wait until the time is over. Takes him 50,000 years. Each realm, takes him 10,000 years. And then he's in Nibbana. That's the only place, when everything is sure. Sotapanna, he still has lots of dukkha. He still becomes a human being. He has to learn to walk. He has to earn his living. He can even have wife and family and children. All these things. But an anagami doesn't come back. He's in the upper realms. He's in the realms of maybe the rupa chanas and arupa chanas. That's not so painful. That's not so much of dukkha. Okay, understood? Any questions? Andrew, understood? Wendy? It's the things we don't like to see and we always avoid it to see. But it's a reality. All our life, whenever we walked on the street, and whenever we saw something that we find disgusting, we always put our view aside. We put our eyes to something that is nicer. So we never actually investigated, what is so loathsome about this. There's nothing loathsome about a heap of shit. We just have to look at it, see it, the nature of it. It comes out every day out of our intestines, But we never grabbed it, we never hold it, we never felt it. It's actually quite nice and warm, I compare, we always Just like body investigation. Just like we have a nice pillow, yeah, a warm pillow, a soft, very soft pillow, yeah, and we love it. Wherever we go, we like, because our head, rests so comfortable on it. And then some mean person comes, and said, "What is in this? What is in this pillow? Huh? Open it up." No, why should I open it up? I don't want to see what is in there. Yeah? Yeah? And that's the body. We like this body, we find it comfortable, we find it nice, yeah? And then somebody tells us to open it up. Yeah? And once you open up this pillow and you you actually see it. It's full of shit. You will never ever put your head on it. Yeah? You take 2 fingers, and then put it into the trash, or bury it or burn it or whatever. Yeah? But you will never sew it back together, and then put your head on it. Yeah? Because you know what is inside. And that is the body investigation. The moment we really understand the nature of the body, we understand the loathsomeness of the body, and we understand what kind of work, it takes, to maintain this body, we will never want the body anymore. And that is the realm of anagami. But as long as we don't really understand, the nature of the body, or the disgusting, or the likes and the dislikes that are associated with the body, we will always love our body. We want to do this. Yeah, it's a nice tool, when you think about it, yeah. If you have a robot, he can do a lot of things, yeah. And this is a human robot or android, yeah, that can do a lot of things. It can do so many things. Yeah? It can play computer games, it can create computers, it can create skyscrapers, it can create ships, it can create rockets, and so on and so on. All these things. So it's a nice tool, but we have to see it. It's a tool. That's it. It's not me, it's not mine, it doesn't belong to me. And it's anicca. It's impermanent. Like everything in this world, in this universe, is impermanent. Okay? Understood? Yeah? Question?
Yeah, Ajahn. On the pain investigation, how long do we need to stay with the pain? Like as long as we can?
As long as you can, and a little bit more. So each time a little bit more. Yeah. Just say one or two more times Buddha or 2 more breaths. Yeah. So that sooner or later you will come to the point where the pain disappears from this and appears at somewhere else. Okay? What?
Better to wait with samadhi is more firm and then move to body investigation, or because
this kind of body investigation that I talked about today, you really need a stable mind to see it. Yeah? So you need to be able to look at least one object, be it the skin or be it the teeth or be it the hair, but whatever you want to investigate it. Just like with samadhi, we just take one point. Yeah? We investigate just one part, the skin or the bones or whatever it is. Yeah? You need to be able to stay for it at least for 5 to 10 minutes, in order to be able to see something. Yeah? But with a normal, with our normal life cycle, we can investigate this, anytime. Yeah? All the things, that go inside the body, we know it, because we have used this body for such a long time. Yeah? So we can investigate this over and over again. Yeah? 15 years training, 30 years usage, 40 years, waiting to die. Yeah? To make us clear, or to think about or contemplate death. Yeah? Whatever arises, whatever is born must die. Yeah? Things like this, is the first preliminary body investigation. Or, think about, how much dukkha this body, maintaining this body is. Yeah? How much work we put into this body. Yeah? And in the end, it's all in vain. Yeah? Because we can't keep it. Yeah? We should put our effort, most of our effort into something that we can keep. And the only thing that we can keep is our karma or the citta. Yeah? So we should put much more effort into developing our citta than developing our body, nam. Yeah? Understand? So this kind of simple reflection you can do every day, anytime, any moment. And if you do it daily, it is really helpful. You can also do the scanning of the body, to get a feel for the body. What is the point-wise meditation of the body, to get a feeling for the body, and so on. These things you can do. You don't need a lot of concentration. But for actually investigation of the body, you need to be, for investigating the skin or whatever, the teeth or the hair, you need to be able to stay at least 10 minutes without any distraction. So the first thing in body investigation is you need to visualize it internally. And that takes a long time. It took me 9 months, 12 hours a day. Just body investigation, 9 months before I could see it. For other people who've done it in previous lives, it takes 3 weeks. Because the memory comes up, and they see it quickly. So it depends on the characteristic of the person. I must have never done it because I never liked it. Too. Okay. The Marcus is clicking.